My hands trembled as I slid the disc into the slot. What was so important that it got Vernon killed?
If you are watching this, Mouse, then, well, you know what's happened. The whole world is in danger, Beatrice. The manuscript those people paid me to decode had a secret. A deadly secret, though I didn't know it at the time. You know all those earthquakes and the crazy weather I've been going on about? They were predicted in the manuscript. Turns out it's quite famous. Called the Voynich manuscript. People have been trying to crack it for years, and I beat them to it. Me, Vernon Blier. I haven't decoded everything, but what I've seen is enough. It talks of a power so great, it could destroy the whole of mankind. It flows continually around the earth along routes known as ley lines. The Chinese call them dragon lines. You know, an ancient civilization even learned how to use this energy, and it brought them great power. They became greedy. They lost control. The power surged. It almost destroyed the world. Beatrice, the people who paid me want to harness this power. And if they do, it is the end of the world. For real! You'll find a diagram with this. It's important, but I haven't worked out why yet. Two things I know are very important. Something called the Key of Solomon, and the strange phrase, devils and witches dance with cows on the Sabbath. The more I work on the manuscript, the more confused I become, and the more I fear for my life. Whatever happens, Mouse, I love you.
I'd wanted a big story. Now it looked as though I'd found one. But what did it all mean? I was going to need help. Perhaps I should make a call. I wondered if Andre might have any ideas.
Andre Lobineau?
Hi, Andre.
It's good to hear from you. I do worry about you, you know.
Oh, Andre, you are sweet. I've got a serious problem, Andre. I really need your help.
Tell me about it and I'll see what I can do.
The guy who died?
The one you went to interview?
That's him. He left me a message recorded onto a disc.
How terribly dramatic. A voice from beyond the grave.
This is serious, Andre. In his message, he says he managed to decipher something called the Voynich manuscript. Also, do you know anything about the Key of Solomon?
I need to see this for myself. I'll see you at your place.
Whatever happens, Mouse, I love you.
If even 1/10 of that is true,
We have to assume it is, Andre.
let's summarize what he's told us.
Something called the Voynich manuscript suggests that an ancient civilization used a power that ran through the earth itself.
And someone is trying to use that power today, possibly in the process causing earthquakes.
That strange diagram and something called the Key of Solomon has, as yet unknown, significance.
I have no idea what the diagram is, but I know about the Key of Solomon.
What does it unlock?
It's a fabled book that holds the wisdom of Solomon. What else was there?
Devils and witches dancing with cows on the Sabbath.
Devils and witches were reputed to have danced on the Île Saint-Louis.
Part of that island used to be called Île aux Vaches.
Cow Island.
There's a significant connection to the Île Saint-Louis. If we could only pinpoint it more closely. What could it mean, Andre?
We're going to have to be methodical about this.
You say the Key of Solomon is a book.
Yes. There are even ancient Hebrew manuscripts that are claimed to be the real thing. But genuine scholars doubt their authenticity.
Perhaps the real thing contains further information on this. What's the significance of the Île Saint-Louis?
I have no idea. Perhaps we need a connection to another piece of information.
Do you think there is a theatrical link to the island?
You need to do some research.
I know just the place to phone. What do you think that pattern represents?
It looks a bit like a spider.
Andre, this is serious. Do you think it could have anything to do with the lines of energy he mentioned?
Maybe this is where the power lines meet up.
Brilliant! That's it! But how does that help us? Perhaps I should make a call. Better check in with my paper.
News desk?
I need you to help me.
That's what I'm here for.
You're a resting actress, so you might know this. Is there a theatrical connection to the Ile Saint-Louis?
There's an old theater on the island. I knew some people who were trying to get it reopened a few years back. But it's been condemned for the last 5 years.
Does it have a name?
Hieroglyph.
Thanks. I owe you one. Bye now. What could it mean, Andre?
We're going to have to be methodical about this.
Andre, do you know anything about a theater called Hieroglyph?
On the Ile Saint-Louis?
Yes.
No.
I'm going to have to investigate then. I considered leaving my apartment. Andre, I'm going to hunt down some more clues.
It's a bit late to go poking around an old theater.
I'll be fine. Typical. Hello?
Remember me? Your boss?
Ah,
Where the hell have you been?
in jail. How come you didn't bail me out?
We're a bit low on resources right now, Nico. Which is why I have a new assignment for you.
I'm still working on the dead hacker story.
That's old news. I want you to...
I'm going to get to the bottom of this.
drop the case.
No! Someone framed me.
You don't get to choose, Nico. That's not the deal.
In that case, I quit. You know, I feel better for that.
There's just the question of how you'll pay the bills and eat.
Something will come up.
You sound like your friend, George.
The theater looked as if it had been abandoned for years. I wondered if it was really the right place. I was going to have to get inside to find out. I peered through the window, but the place was too dark. The door was in a terrible state, but the lock was brand new. Someone was obviously still using this place. The door was locked. I couldn't force it. Just another locked door. My lead had brought me to the theater. I wasn't walking away now. The door was shut fast and wouldn't open. I couldn't open the door, It was locked. It was the red Jaguar that had nearly run me over. The killer clearly had the connection to the theater. It looked like I was on the right track after all. I could see the mask the traffic warden had described. I was in the right place, all right. The door was locked. I had no way of opening it, short of throwing a brick through the window. The billboard was attached to the scaffolding with a thin piece of string. It wouldn't take much to pull it loose. It was a gamble, but my options were limited. Well, I had untied the billboard, and nothing had happened. Maybe it was stuck at the bottom. The base of the billboard was attached by metal clips. Success! I was risking death with every step, but so what? I felt like I was under a death sentence already. God, that was close. I was trapped on the theater side with no way back. The door was shut fast and wouldn't open. The door looked well made. The door was shut fast and wouldn't open. All was quiet. There was somebody coming. I had to hide. The popcorn stand was my only option.
I shall miss Paris, my dear. It has been charming, has it not?
I shall never forget it.
But the city is becoming unstable, and we have no need of this space.
When will we leave?
Soon. My plans are working out perfectly.
Of course.
Yow!
It seems that we have a visitor.
Is this the right place for the audition? You again!
Aha, so this is the girl. Petra, my dear, you must introduce us.
Nico Collard? Senor Susaro.
We have never met, and yet our lives have crossed.
For the worst.
In your case, that will certainly be true. Flap!
So, Bruno and I came to Paris. It was the first time I'd been back since the last time. I was on the trail of Cesaro and the dragon power. We waited till it got dark. Then Bruno led me through the back streets to the place he suspected. I waited while he checked the readings on his mysterious device.
My calculations indicate that this is the place.
Behind that wall? Are you sure?
My machine tells me it is there, and I have no reason to doubt it.
Okay. Well, let's get inside and take a look.
No, I am not going in there. I said I would bring you here, and that is what I have done. I am not going in there.
Bruno, you're just being paranoid.
No, it is only paranoia when they are not out to get you.
Okay, Bruno, you stay here. Bruno, are you sure this is the place?
Yes, here is the place the machine is indicating.
Well, if the machine said it was so, I wasn't going to argue. How's everything, Bruno?
Oh, everything is tickety-boo. Apart from the fact I have a crazy man trying to kill me.
Are you sure you don't want to come with me?
I think I will be better out here, thank you.
How reliable is that machine? I mean, how many of these Earth power sites have you found with it?
You understand nothing.
It's not about understanding. It's about believing. Hey, that machine sure is a piece of work. Homes in on ancient dust, huh?
You are quite a witty man, I think, Mr. Stobbart.
You know, I like to keep things cheery.
I find it very tiresome. Please desist.
Sure. By the way, this place doesn't look right to me.
But the readings are very strong. Maybe you missed something.
Locked. Maybe from the other side? Magazines and large hardback books. That Irish guy, Eamon, he would have loved this place. Novels and short stories by the look of it. Kids' books. Shame it wasn't open. I still had a couple of gaps in my Tintin collection, and this could have been just the place. It was a large recycling dumpster. I wondered what sort of things the French recycled. The lid had been propped open. The window was latched inside. One of the panes was smashed, leaving a gaping hole. Suddenly, I was very scared of what lay ahead. Aha! The window opened easily. I found myself in a book repository. It was a light switch. Nothing happened. It was a light switch. There was a box in the way of the switch. The room was just a storeroom. Deep scratches had scarred the floor. The trap door was set flush into the floor. Even with nothing in the way, the trap door was difficult to see. There was a gap between two of the floorboards just big enough for my fingers. Pulling it open must have caused the scratches. A ladder led down into a well-lit passage. It looked like Bruno could be right. It was some kind of ancient boiler. It was like something from a horror movie. I half expected to hear screams coming from inside. Hey, they got a show. It was some kind of a rehearsal. As a one-time director of the Idaho Players, I was no stranger to the thespian arts.
Where is it? We must have the location.
I tell you, I don't know.
Ah!
Let me do this properly. I know I can break her.
As you wish, Petra.
I'm not scared of you, you bunch of thugs.
Bravo! Ooh!
Senior Cicero, sir. Sorry to bother you.
Yes, what is it now?
We got a little problem downstairs.
Do be precise, Flap. What kind of a problem?
An intruder problem. A guy's getting killed problem.
Ah, just as I was getting comfortable.
Cesaro! This was no rehearsal. And the girl giving the Oscar performance was my old friend Nico.
This is very tiresome. You will stay here, Miss Collard. Don't try anything.
Some hope. What do you think I'm going to do? Ask the audience for help?
Flap, you watch her like a hawk.
Like a hawk, Senior Cicero.
The name is Cesaro. Senor Cesaro. Do try and make an effort, Flap, or I shall have to kill you too.
It looked like a disposable cup. It had been crushed. Whoa! The gangways were dangerous. They'd fallen away in places. It was a long way down. The rope held up the lighting rig. The lighting rig lowered part of the way, but then jammed fast. Hanging from the rigging was a sandbag, which acted as a counterweight. I knew this would get his attention. Gotcha now. Well, well, well. Nicole Collard, tied to a chair, needing to be rescued. Again.
George! Don't just stand there. Untie me!
You know, This is becoming a habit. Maybe you should seek help. Okay.
Come on! Hurry!
Geez, these nuts are tight. Aha! Got it. Seriously, are you all right?
Yeah, I'm fine. And it is good to see you. Your timing's perfect.
It always was.
So, how's Idaho, George?
Same as ever. It's a great vacation state. You ought to visit sometime.
Got any friends who'd put me up?
I could put a word in for you.
You're a real sport. Why the sudden interest in theater?
I'm on the trail of a guy who killed one of my clients. A man called Cesaro.
That's the maniac who captured me.
I know. I was watching from the stalls. Thought you were pretty good, by the way.
Thanks. I wasn't looking forward to the next scene, though.
Yeah. Those guys, they got their own special twist on the word corpse.
So tell me about Cesaro.
Cesaro connects back to the Neo-Templars.
Surprise, surprise. That explains idiot guy over there.
So why are you here?
The blonde. She killed the guy I was due to interview. Tracking her down brought me here.
We're working on the same case. Now that's amazing.
Only if you believe in coincidence. Do you?
No.
Me neither. Come on, George. We can't sit around here all day.
Nico?
Yes, George?
I wonder if you could help me out.
It depends on what you want.
So, Nico, you still a reporter?
Not according to my editor.
Well, what happened? You get fired?
No, I quit first.
So why did the blonde kill the guy you were interviewing?
He was trying to contact me. Said he had information about all this weird meteorological stuff going on. Said the world was going to end.
It was one heck of a shot, but I guess the cleaners wouldn't be too pleased. Sure was a mess, but it sort of made me feel at home, so I ignored it. Nice to see someone else with a headache for a change. I knew the guy all right. He used to work for the Grand Master. Flap, they called him. Last time I'd seen him, he was falling from an express train in Scotland. Just too butt-ugly to die, I guess. Flap believed in traveling light, just his IQ and his gun. Me, I just put faith in the old IQ. It was an old stage light burning brightly. Ah! Damn, that's hot! What an incredibly dumbass thing to do. Ugh. I wondered what the button was for. I'd found a box of theatrical grease paints. The sight transported me back to another day in Paris, a peaceful cafe, and a clown. And boy, did I hate clowns. I stuck my hand into the box and grabbed a stick. Bestheimer's number 7, white. What a lucky guess. It was a box of theatrical grease paints. The grease paint reminded me of a trip long ago to a costumer. The stage light was hot enough to melt the paint. As the grease paint melted, the smell of burning fat stung my nose, but at least it worked.